Hello and good evening, my people of the Cayman Islands. I am here this evening because my name was called up on basically Cayman Mile Road by Mr. Javier and his wife, stating that I'm supposed to be all for equality and I'm not helping them get their Cayman papers for the little girl. However, me and Mr. Javier have had knock heads to heads back about 2 years and a half ago with all the foolishness that's going on with him, his wife protesting on the government steps and all the different things that were going on. I don't know why he see fit to bring my name into all the drama that went on between him and CBC, the government, his little girl, and trying to get papers for her. Now, I have been accused of hating Cuban nationals, that basically I don't like Cubans. That could be far from the truth because I am married to one. What I hate is rude, ignorant, arrogant people from any nationality. I don't care where they're from. And that is my disposition here. Now, however, it's my understanding that they were trying to get their daughter, who is 3 years old, to be able to attend school here in the Cayman Islands. But because the child does not have no nationality at the moment, they are all Nowarians except for him that has asylum. Going back a couple years ago, the disrespect that was shown to the Cayman Islands government by these two individuals, him and his wife from Dominica Republic, is astonishing. I don't understand why government would sit here and allow these people to carry on with the disrespect and behavior that they do towards the Cayman Islands and the Cayman people. They are not Caymanians. He ran to this country from Cuba seeking asylum for a better life. But he is nothing more but a deterrent and a criminal and a loud-mouthed Cuban. Now, the fact remains is whatever transpired between him and CBC, that he was taking videos and basically saying that he wanted his daughter to be a Caymanian and this, not the next thing. Now, sticking a pin there, I have to say this. I have seen government put rules in place and pass laws for stupidity. Like for feeding chickens, you can go to jail and be fined XYZ amount of money. Yet, this man went into immigration, or CBC, disrespect them, videoing them, and acting like a total idiot. Then when he didn't get anywhere there, he decided to go into the government building. I have never, of all the 55 years that I've been in the Cayman Islands, ever saw a Caymanian protest in front of the government building. If I'm wrong, tell me. Or go into the government establishment and protest and carry on loud and obnoxious and aggressive. Yet government still put up with this sort of behavior. 2 years ago, this man made history in the Cayman Islands by going in a boat trying to reach his destination, wherever the hell they were going. The boat broke down and a ship from Panama picked them up. And when Panama government refused the ship entry, bringing them into their country, they returned them back to the Cayman Islands. And what did they do? They held the ship at hostage, siege, and turned around and had them out in the waters there for about 4 days, where police were interacting, trying to get them to basically give themselves up and release the ship, which they refused to do. It was only after the Panamanian government told our government that if this did not get resolved, they were going to send their army in here to deal with them, which our government said they're in our waters and they weren't allowed to do it. So therefore they said they would take their ship out into international waters and deal with them. I don't get it. These people come here, they act as if they have no common sense. I don't know what the laws are in Dominica, but his wife is just as bad as he is. I don't hate anyone. He's on there talking about I'm all for equality. Equality for whom? I would never offer equality to these two jackasses that are out there, because at the end of the day, they need to be stripped of whatever they have. he was given asylum here, which leads me to believe that the people that grant these asylums must have mental issues, because how can they grant asylum to someone such as this with this type of behavior? I don't not know. At the end of the day, if this was a Jamaican national, they would have been sent home a long time ago. And I don't see what the difference is here. Asylum or asylum not. If some country take you in and give you asylum for a better life in your country, you don't act this way. This man has mental issues. When he worked in East End at a restaurant, he was rude to the owners, which he got fired. And he gonna call and go to the police department in Bordentown and tell them that he demand them to go back to the restaurant owner and demand them to hire him back. Who does he think he are? But the big issue that we're facing here is that all the rules and stuff and laws that government implement is a joke. I don't understand when people come to my country and have a child. The child is not considered Caymanian, but yet the child can apply to get a Cayman British passport. How is that possible? Why would you want to hold a British Cayman passport when you're here on time? I have friends that have kids in Honduras that has Cayman passports, but when they visit here, they're put on time like any other visitor that come here. This is where the issue lies, because Javier feels that because his daughter has a Cayman passport, this makes her a Caymanian, and he's demanding a letter from government to say that his child can go to school because she's a Cayman. No, she is not. Our laws seriously need to change. These people come here, they protest, and this is the thing that annoys me with them, They come here from their country, which is Cuba. Him, Javier. Whenever anything goes wrong that they feel that they have a right or entitled to, the first thing they want to throw in your face is a Cuban flag. The same country that they packed up and risked their lives to come here in a boat, running from. They're going to throw it in your face. I'm sorry, I have nothing against Cubans. Like I said, I'm married to one. But what I don't like is the disrespect that's going on here, and I do not know why government is tolerating this. Look at Lavelle. Lavelle got arrested and thrown in jail for dancing in front of the government building, trying to clear her name, whatever issue she had with the HSA and the mental ward and whatever, however that go. They put her in jail and restrict her from coming to the government building. Yet this man today could have gone in to the government building and basically cause havoc, videoing and carrying on, and his wife passing threats that if her daughter doesn't get her papers by the weekend, what's going to happen, and all this foolishness. Listen to me. The thing is, what government need to do is strip him of his asylum, pack them, and send him going. If he can't go back to Cuba, that is fine. Send him to Dominica, where his wife is from. Why do we sit back and allow people to come in here and just take advantage of all the things that we will not tolerate? I mean, I was in court today basically overseeing a case with the two guys that got assaulted and stuff that was going on. And I sat there listening to some of the cases, especially the guys that were incarcerated in Northwood Prison. A lot of them are in there for smoking weed and whatever have you. Our government is quick to throw people in jail for smoking a joint of weed, but the disrespect from these people that are here, these two individuals that are here, is unfathomable, because at the end of the day, come on, tell me which Cayman has ever gone up in government building and protest, filming. Now, there was a big discussion on my road this morning because I didn't really get to watch it because I got sent the link, but I was really busy at work. And when my name was called, I really and truly wanted to respond, but because I was in my uniform, I thought inappropriate, I couldn't do it. I don't know this man. I really don't hate him per se. I just don't like his behavior. I don't know why he feels that he's entitled to come on our soil and demand our government to give him what he wants. It doesn't work that way. I'm a person that visits Cuba frequently, and I'm telling you, if he did this crap in his country, Cuba has a set of police officers that wear black. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, they would have beaten the crap out of him. You probably would never see him again. We sit here and we just, we have this thing that called Cayman kind. And people use that to just run all over us. Now, like I said, me and this man had running in a couple of times, and it sort of filtered out. No, I even had to ask her, was he still on the island, because no one heard anything for 2.5 years. And all of a sudden, here we go again. Why does government tolerate this from him? Why does government tolerate this from his wife? When they were here seeking asylum, our taxpayers' money was the money that supported him and her and their child by paying rent, food, and giving them everything they need to survive on here until he was granted asylum. Even after he was granted asylum, he turned around and still demand that government do for them. Listen, NAU has given us Caymanians a hard time even signing up with them. And these people come in here, they get accommodation, they get food, they get phone card, they get everything to their advantage. And still, they are a bunch of ungrateful people. I have never seen a set of destructive and ungrateful people such as them in my life. And it has to be told. And because government, not only the government that's in at this point, but the previous government allow them to act and behave the way that they do. I'm sorry, but if they want to protest, let them go to the Premier House and protest there, because they are the ones that make all these silly laws, like if you feed chicken you go to jail and all this foolishness. Why they cannot put laws in place to prevent stuff like this? I have seen them taking away Cayman papers from people for less than this. For less than this. Yet we sit here and listen to them carry on the way they carry on and tolerate it. Why? Why? Never in the history of the Cayman Islands has anyone held up a boat under siege, take the boat over and refuse to come out and do what they have to do. It's just not right. From that given point in moment, he should have been stripped of whatever paperwork he had for the Cayman Islands and send him on his way. Yet he is still here causing havoc. What rights do you think every other person that comes here and have a child has to go to their country and register that child? What makes him any different? He's not a Caymanian, and he never will be one. So why does the Premier, the Deputy Premier, and the other cabinet ministers tolerating this behavior from him? It is just wrong. And internationally, it makes us look weak and it makes us look stupid. And no one's going to sit here and tell me that nothing can be done about this. Because like I said, I've seen them sit in Parliament and pass laws that just doesn't make any sense. At the end of the day, they would throw you in jail for a stick of weed, but they'll tolerate the behavior from these people. I said, it doesn't matter. I have done this man absolutely nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Yet he's still insisting in calling my name in social media. For what? I believe in equality. I believe in inclusion. I believe in a lot of things. But not for the behavior that he portrayed, that he thinks that because I believe in equality that I'm going to help him. I'm not going to help him because I don't believe in his tactics in doing things. What gives him the right to think that he has a right to go into our government establishment and act like a total jackass? And then, doing so, not being arrested, not being brought up on charges, and not being stripped of whatever paperwork he has that he claims that's given to him. These asylum boards, trust me when I tell you, it's a joke. It is a joke. Because majority of these people that come here from Cuba seeking asylum are nothing but problem makers in their own country. I have great Cuban friends here. I have friends here in from Cuba that I've helped many a times, and they're very appreciative and they're wonderful people, and I don't mind helping them. But like everywhere else you go, even right here in my own country, you got good and bad, and you cannot mix everyone into the same. But I just want to see exactly what government is planning on doing with this individual. It's been too many years now that he has been sitting here and causing nothing but problems. I don't even go and demand nothing like that. I don't go and protest. I don't do anything like that. Yet they come here. If you remember 2.5 years ago, how many Cuban flags they had out there? Cayman government this, Cayman government that, the people this, the people that. You know, if I was living in a country that treated me like dirt, which is communist, that I have to scrabble for food, they give you a book where you can only get so much bread, so much beans, so much rice, so much of this, and whatever have you, that I decide I can't live there, and I'm going to jump on a boat and risk my life to go somewhere else, and another country take me in. Behave yourself. Act as if though you have some common sense. Then nobody would have anything to say about you. Really and truly. He's a narcissist. I think he's a total idiot that just have no idea. And the government here is just allowing him to cause havoc and carry on with his rubbish. And I don't understand why. Take for instance, they come here, you just can't send them back. You got to get permission to send me back to my own country. What is that? Yet we must sit here and tolerate all the foolishness. Yet if anybody goes and do anything to him, they're quick to put them in jail than anyone else. It is not right. It is absolutely not right. And I don't care what he wants to say. At the end of the day, he needs to be deported. If his child cannot be registered here to go to school because he refused to do the right things in order to do so, then that's his problem. Why should we open a loophole for him to do what the law says he cannot do when other people out there is struggling just as much in abiding by the rules and doing what he needs to do to survive here? No. He cannot keep a job because of his mouth. He's fired from every job he's ever had for being rude to his employers. I mean, come on. They put their child's life at risk when they took that boat on, when they put that boat in siege, and basically for how many days they were there locked in this room. It was a big international thing. People in Miami was involved. They WhatsApp videos and whatever have you. Look here. And then he claims that he didn't want to come back here, that they brought him back here. My friend, Javier, not even Panama government wanted you there. This is why the ship turned around and came to Cayman to drop you all back here on this island. They don't want you. We had to end up taking you back. And when you realized you were back here and did not want to leave, you decided to just barricade yourself on these people's boat and take it over. That just shows the mentality and disrespect and common sense that you have. And feel that if anybody speak the truth about you, they're against you and they hate you and they hate your nationality and whatever have you. It doesn't work that way. There's many things that needs to be dealt with in this country that I have no idea when government is going to put their foot down. One of the things that needs to be done is this passport issue. This is the biggest problem we have here. And from my understanding, because we're British dependent territory or whatever has it, we fall under the rules where if anyone born here, they can have a Cayman passport. A passport is something that should only be issued to a Caymanian or a Caymanian paper holder. If someone has a child here, that child has no rights here. They are not a Caymanian. They're not. Unless one of your parents or both of your parents are Caymanian, then you are considered a Caymanian. The rules are, if a child is born here, it takes the mother's nationality. But because the two of them were not married when they had this child, the child took Cuban nationality, which means she's a Cuban. And the thing that I don't understand, she's been given one of these, a Cayman passport. With this Cayman passport, this child can travel to Cuba back and forth, come back to Cayman. She can go anywhere in the world that we as Caymanians can go. Yet she's not a Caymanian. Can't you see the clear picture of what I'm trying to say? It doesn't make any sense. Why hold a passport to a country that is still not accepting you as an equal? You can't even register your child in school because you cannot get acknowledgement. And because of that, you want to go and protest and tell government your child is this and your child is that, and you're demanding and you want it done by the end of the week, or you'll see what? See what? It is time that we put this Cayman kind thing aside and deal with things the correct way. There is too much stupidity going on here. He should have not, matter of fact, from the time he did what he did with that ship, he should have been sailed out of here for good. If that ship never picked them up, God forbid whatever would happen to him and his child and everybody else that was on that boat that leaving here. And this is the thanks you get. This is the thanks you get. Some of them have been here for years waiting on asylum while our taxpayers' money has been supporting them for doing what? They go in as they please. They're supposed to be in detention center. They come out of there when they feel like. They go back when they feel like. Never in my life. Listen, when you go to the US and they put you in the detention center, there is no coming out until either A, you are granted asylum there and can work and live there as an American, or they pack you up and send you back to your country. They are living a life here. CBC has been renting places to put these people in for years, and it's like they're living better than some of us Caymanians that been living in shacks and can't no better do because of minimum wage and whatever's going on. They're in the top apartments. They don't have to work. They go, they steal from Red Cross out of the bins. They steal from all these other places. They go and broke people's homes. And what is being done? Nothing. And if you injure them for coming into your home, taking your stuff, you are going to be arrested by the police for assault. When are we going to get some type of rights in our own country? People that come in here on boats seeking asylum has more rights than we have. It seems that way, and it shouldn't be that way. So Mr. Javier, I have to tell you tonight that you have picked on the wrong person. The wrong person. For years, I ignored you. I said what I had to say previously in post, and I let it go. I've moved on, and yet you insist in dragging me back into this again. Listen to me. Drop the name Noel Cayasso Smith. I don't like you. Your ways stinks. You're an ignorant, arrogant jackass that believes that you can bully people into getting what you want. So if the premier and anyone else out there in government feels that they are scared of you and want to make into your demands, that's their problem. But leave me out of it, please, because you don't want me and you to have anything. Because you constantly claiming I hate Cubans. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate anyone. I just don't like your nasty, stinking, dirty attitude that you have. If you want to demand something, or you feel like you want to change the rules or the laws and stuff, start with that back in your own country. Go back to Cuba and help it not to be communist. Fight over there, fight your government over there to make a better way of life that you can move back home and live. Don't come here and tell us what we should and shouldn't do, and what we should give and shouldn't give, and what you think you are entitled to. No. No, it doesn't work that way. And I think government need to sit down and have a serious conversation and decide what they're going to do about this mess here. Because it doesn't look good locally, it doesn't look good internationally, and it doesn't look good in the eyes of Britain. We have a lot more going on here that we need to focus on except your stupidity. So hopefully your little tantrum that you pulled over the last couple of days, I'm hoping that they have a huge meeting and decide what they're going to do with you. Because if it was me, personally, I would give you a boat with enough gas to go wherever you want to go and say adios. Goodbye. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Don't. We have enough here dealing with at the moment to put out the foolishness. We have crime, increasing crime. Every time you turn around is a robbery. You got people here on work permits that are being treated like dirt. Everybody seems to think that people coming here on a work permit and they got life so good and stuff. People, let me tell you, they don't. You have no idea what some people here on work permits are going through. A lot. And it's not right. A lot of them don't want to speak out because they're afraid of going home, because it's the only bread and butter to help their family, and they're being treated like dirt. They're being threatened, all sorts of things. So I'm here to tell you that whatever you have going on, keep me out of it, please. Because I never mentioned your name in the last 2.5 years. I couldn't care less whether you were dead or alive. Because I don't have time to take on ignorant asses. I got better things to do with my time. So if you feel that the Cayman Islands government, CBC and Works or whomever owes you letters or owes you the right for this or that and the next thing, that's you and their problem. But honestly, they don't know what to do with you. You just haven't crossed the right person yet. Because this is bullshit. I'm sorry, people, but it is. When I go to the States or any country I go into, I have to abide by their laws because it's their country and it's the laws that they have in place. I can't go in there and raise havoc and say, you got to change this because I'm entitled to this and because I want this and because the next thing. And another thing I want to let people know on here. People come here, people get married, and people feel it because they're married to a Caymanian and they get RERC, that they're better than everybody else. Even people that they come from the country that they come from. Listen to me. RERC is not a right here in the Cayman Islands. It is a privilege that can be revoked at any given time. Anytime. Status can be revoked at any given time. So if you think that you're safe by marrying a Caymanian, it doesn't work that way. And people, if people out there are treating you with disrespect and treating you unfairly and inhuman, don't think because they have RERC that you can't write immigration on them. Write your letters because it goes a long way. You don't complain, nothing is being done. Just like I don't understand why government is putting up with the crap from these two people. She came here as a barmaid. As a barmaid from Dominican Republic. And look at what she is now. Absolutely nothing. The only person that is suffering through all this is their child. They have used their child for many things that I thought was very much unreal. If you remember during the boat incident, social services even intervened and took away the child from them, and they turned around and gave the child back because the child was even used as a shield at some point. And he was there crying, oh my baby, oh my baby, oh my baby. You don't put your child in that situation. You don't. Not every person have a child is a mother or father. And they have shown that many a times. I do agree the child is in education. From my understanding, they were allegedly told what they need to do to get the child registered in school. And yet again, I was told that they refused to do it because they say their child is a Caymanian. Their child is not a Caymanian. I'm the first to help anyone, and everybody who knows me knows that if anybody comes to me for assistance and I can help them, I will help them to the best of my ability. Of course, I'm all for inclusion. I fight for gay rights every day. I fight for a better way of life every day. I've had Cuban friends that come and ask me for assistance on various things, and I help them. Not everyone that comes here is basically good. Not everybody that comes here is basically bad. Not everybody comes here is on the legit. But at the same time, you cannot take everyone and paint them with the same brush. You got to take people as they are. And because of these two behavior, we know what type of person they are. We know what they're capable of. We know they have no common sense. So, fair is fair, and I don't understand. I remember Lavelle dancing at the government place, at the government building. All the woman did was put her foot up on one pillow that was outside the door, and she got arrested. Yet these two went into the building in protest. Did they get arrested? Not to my knowledge. They was in there videoing, because I saw them on the road. They were in there videoing and carrying on and screaming to the top of their voice about they got rights and this, that, and the next thing. What rights they have here? She is not even on his asylum. Yet she got so much to say. Listen, it is time that these politicians stop thinking about election and votes and do their jobs. Plenty things that need to be resolved in this country and laws that need to be put in place. They refuse to do it because they know if they do it, nobody's going to vote for them. Listen, if I ever decided to run for election, I wouldn't care whether they re-vote for me or not in the end, as long as I did my job to the best of my ability and do what I thought was right. It's not all about the $15,000 and $16,000 you make in a month. It's about doing what we, the people, elect you to do. That's what it's about. If you do the right things, of course, people are going to hate you. People come in here all the time and break laws. They do it every day and get away with it. And when you complain about certain things, all you can hear is, well, it is breaking the law, but we just don't have the manpower to send people out to basically see if these things are being broken. Then why make the rules in the first place? Why do it? I mean, the point is, it's absolutely ridiculous on what's going on. So, like I said, I didn't interfere with this guy. I had nothing to say with him, He was the one that basically came after me today, and I had nothing to say to him, nothing to say about him. So, they need to get their life together and sort it out. So if he wants to reply to me, feel free, not a problem. I just want to thank, each and everyone for hearing me out here, because I just don't understand why government won't just put an end to all this and done with it. Anyway, it's after 10. I've got a long day tomorrow, so thank you so much for listening in, and feel free to comment. It's all about good and bad comments. You can't all have it good. And have a blessed evening, and when tomorrow rolls in, happy Wednesday to each and every one. Thanks, guys.